Hey everybody, it's Mommy to Wife of One, and thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a content creator, I'm a mommy, I'm a wife. I'm like everybody else that you see on YouTube, I like to run my mouth. And the topics vary. Sometimes I'm reviewing the show, sometimes I'm talking about, how to throw a good birthday party for your child. Today, I'm continuing my series of music that I like, and the whole point of this is to hopefully introduce you guys to some artists or some songs that you're not overly familiar with. So my first two videos, I focused on the men, specifically with R&B. The first video is my top 10 R&B songs from single male artists. The second video was top 10 songs from male groups, and this video is top 10 songs by singular female artists. I don't know if I have a top 10 songs for female groups. I think I may have to do a little more research to figure out if I want to do that or not. But the list for single female artists was a lot easier for me to do. But before I get started, if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the videos that I post. Make sure that you like this video, share the video if you want, and definitely comment below with songs that you like. Maybe there's an artist that I missed that you're like, oh my gosh, girl, how could you not include this? And actually, let me preface by saying this too. I tried my best to stay away from the overpopulated artists. So when it comes to single females, you will not find Whitney Houston. You will not find, I don't think I did Mariah Carey. I tried to stay away from big name people. I tried to. Most people you know who they are, but they're like B-side songs or songs that I think didn't get enough credit. But no Whitney Houston, no Mary J. Blige, no Mariah Carey. There is a Janet Jackson song on here. I'm not going to say she's like the best singer in the world, but it's not about being the best singer. It's about a song that I particularly like. But yeah, you won't find any of those people. Yep, I double checked. None of those people on the list. And some of your favorites may not necessarily be on here. That doesn't mean they can't sing. Doesn't mean I don't like their music. But I feel like for some of the bigger artists, even people who passed away years ago, I feel like I'm still hearing their songs often enough, either in other people's countdowns or on the radio, like a Throwback Thursday, that it's like, I don't really get a chance to miss this song or miss this artist because I'm hearing them so often. A lot of people that I listen to people I don't really hear on the radio that much, and if I do hear them on the radio, it's not these particular songs that I like. So, without further ado, we're going to start the list. So, the way I do it is I give you the name of the song, the year it came out, the name of the album, and the artist. And then I normally will recite a lyric from the song. I love singing, but I know that YouTube flags people for singing and playing certain songs, and I'm not about that life. So, I'm just going to read the lyric as opposed to actually singing for you guys. And you probably don't want to hear me sing anyway, so where's our best for everybody? Okay, first song. The song is called Heartbroken. It came out in 1996. The album was One in a Million, and the artist is Aaliyah. If you are in my age group, I think I'm considered a millennial, an old millennial at that. I'm 42. So if you're in my age group, you know exactly who Aaliyah is. If you are younger, maybe a tad bit older, may not necessarily know who she is. She is no longer with us. She was an artist primarily in the 90s, and she was produced by a man who shall not be named, but also by Timbaland. She worked closely with Missy Elliott and with Genuine. Some of her other popular songs, A Four-Page Letter, Back and Forth, Hot Like Fire, and a lot of others. The Heartbroken song, One in a Million specifically, the album, was an amazing album. Heartbroken is a slow song, and it's basically the name of the title says it all. It's about a person who's heartbroken. So the lyric I put is, what made you go and run this game on me? When I stayed by your side, what made you go and leave? And I know the times that I've been heartbroken, it's probably been at least twice now. But when they happened, I was a lot younger and I hadn't necessarily found my voice. I didn't know how to ask the questions I needed to ask. Why did you do this? Why didn't you just have a conversation with me? Why are you putting me through this? You understand how much it hurts? Didn't know how to express that stuff. I was more of, okay, we're over. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna wallow. My heart's broken. I'm gonna listen to a bunch of sad music. At some point, this pain will go away. And then it went away, and that was it. And either I became friends with that person later on in life, or just never talked to them again, or whatever happened. But I never, at that age, and even now, if it happened, I feel like now maybe I'm a little more mature. I would, but at that age, for sure, I did not know how to use my voice to ask those questions. Because in my head, no matter what the answers are to those questions, the result is still that you hurt me and that you're no longer with me. So I didn't really see the point. But I get it now. As an older person, I would want to know those questions because it's like, why'd you do something stupid? So I just like the fact that at that young age, because when Aaliyah passed, I want to say she was 22, maybe. She was definitely younger than 25 when she passed away. And so for her to ask those questions at that age is like, "Wow, I was never that brave." And I just love, she has a beautiful voice, and I just love the song. And these songs are in no particular order, by the way. But the second song, again, the name of the song is Again, came out in 1993 from the album Janet. This is Janet Jackson. Everybody and their mama should know who Janet Jackson is, no matter how old you are, because Janet Jackson is still performing. She is still putting out music. She's been doing so since the 80s. Obviously, some of her bigger songs are If, Love Will Never Do Without You, Control. What else did I write on here? Rhythm Nation. I mean, obviously, she's been out since the 80s, so she has a plethora of music. The song Again was on the Janet album. It was also in the soundtrack for Poetic Justice, which starred Janet Jackson and Tupac Shakur. And this song, I don't know what it was about this song, but I will say this. I like a lot of music. I have favorite artists. But when anyone talks about your favorite song, like your number one favorite song, this is actually out of all the songs I've ever heard in my life. This has always had the number one top spot. And it's not like I have a top three or top 10. I don't. I only have this one favorite song, and it is Again by Janet Jackson. In the video, she's wearing all white, and she is paired opposite, don't remember the man's name. Oh no, Gary Dordan. He was in the show Different Worlds. He played Shaza Zulu. He was also in, I think, one of the CSIs. Very attractive black man. But they're wearing all white throughout the entire video. And the whole point of the song is, I love this man. He hurt me, but now he's come back. And I think I want to give it another chance, but I'm afraid he's going to hurt me again. And it sucks because I'm falling in love with him again. I can feel myself having these feelings again. So I hope that he sticks around this time. That's the premise of the song. When I was in the seventh grade, told you I like to sing. When I was in the seventh grade, I was very shy, soft spoken, didn't want a lot of attention on me, but I was like, you know what? You need to get over your shyness. And I was like, how do I do this? Let me force myself in a situation where I have to be the center of attention. So I signed up for our school's talent show in seventh grade. So I am 11, 12 years old. I signed up for the school talent show. I'm wearing all white. My hair is crimped like Janet's was in the video. And I stood in the middle of the stage. No music, no musicians, obviously no choreography because it's a very slow song. And I sung again a cappella in front of the crowd. Needless to say, my stage fright has shifted a little bit. I still get uncomfortable singing in front of people, but now I'm a trained public speaker. So I can be on the stage now and be fine and comfortable and joking and moving around, all that stuff. But singing, I will still be in the middle of that stage, not moving my arms. I don't know how to emote, like, none of that. I literally just stood on stage, mic in my hand, and sung this song. I memorized all the words. I loved it, and it's still one of my favorite songs. The lyric I wrote is, don't you stand there and then tell me you love me, then leave me again, because I'm falling in love with you again. So I appreciate the sentiment. I thought it was kind of a different take on a love song. And yeah, if you've never heard the song before, please listen to it. Pause this video. There's a music video for the song. Again, Janet Jackson. Janet, Janet Jackson. Love the song. Third song is called Beautiful. Came out in 2001. The album is Acoustic Soul, and this is NDRE. NDRE is someone I feel like came out in that neo soul era. So, think Erica Badu and Jill Scott, think Jaguar Wright. Like they all kind of had that same soulfulness to it, where it's like a mixture of R&B and jazz. I feel like NDRE out of all, well, Jaguar Wright too, but I feel like she didn't blow up necessarily as much as everybody else. Her first, I'll say at least her first two albums, I think, were pretty popular. I don't know about anything after that. Fluts Soul was her first album. And from the first album, she had the song Video, which I actually really did not like that song at all. And she has a song that I love called I Am Not My Hair. Banger, featuring Akon. Love that song. And she also has Brown Skin, which a lot of people like as well. And Ready for Love, which is beautiful. But Beautiful, I like the song because in this song, beautiful is a concept of a place. She wants to go to a place called beautiful. In her mind, this place called beautiful exemplifies these things. And I would love to just go to beautiful. And I just thought that that was such a unique take on just a unique take, period. I thought it was just a very interesting premise. So the lyric I wrote down was, I want to go to a place where I'm suspended in ecstasy, somewhere between dark and light, where wrong becomes right. And she also has a line in there that I love, and it's so simple. She says, I need to find a place where I can breathe. And it's just like, oh, it's such a simple concept, right? Because obviously we breathe every day, but there is something about taking a deep breath and just breathing without thinking about anything going on in your life, right? Like I'm talking to you guys, I'm focused on you guys, but I'm also listening out for my kids to make sure they're okay. I'm listening out to see if my husband's come home from work. I have my phone near me, but I'm trying not to look at it just in case it buzzes or something. I'm near a window in my room, so who knows what could happen outside. So I'm still aware of everything happening around me. And when she says I need to find a place where I can breathe, in my mind, she's saying I need to find a place where nothing is happening. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about anybody. I'm literally in a space by myself where I can just breathe and I'm focused just on my breath. There is nothing else I'm focusing on, nothing in my head that's taking my attention, that's distracting me. I'm focused on just breathing in and out. And I know that's pretty much what meditation is, but just the idea that there could possibly be a place, a physical place called beautiful where you can go and all you're doing is breathing. And I love that. I just love the idea of it. And the song just it makes me hopeful that even if I can't find a physical place like that, I can create a space like that for myself, if that makes sense. The next song is called No Way. Came out in 1998. The album is Keep the Faith, and the artist is Faith Evans. Faith obviously has a lot of songs. She's been out since the 90s as well. And Keep the Faith is her second album. First album had one of my favorite songs. It's called As Soon as I Get Home. It reminds me of an ex-boyfriend. But, we ended on good terms. It's fine. But As Soon as I Get Home is a gorgeous, gorgeous song. She also has, Love Like This, which is, faster. And she has a lot of other songs, actually. One thing I'll say about Faith, I've heard people talk about Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child and how she's like the queen of a bridge in a song. Faith Evans, though, especially on this album, especially on Keep the Faith. If you listen to her songs, she has these bridges in her song, and you can tell that Faith's voice it's like her voice is doing three different parts of a song, all being sung at the same time. And she has a pretty voice already, but to hear it in like different octaves doing different things, it's so pretty. And she does that in no way where I can't even describe like what it is, but it's because I don't want to get, flagged it all by YouTube. But No Way is a really pretty song. Really interesting thing about the album Keep the Faith. That's the album that has Love Like This and All Night Long. And those are tracks 2 and 3. The interesting thing about the album, at least to me, is that after track 3, all of the best songs are all the even numbered songs, which doesn't really make sense. And not saying that the album is bad and the odd number songs are not great. It's not that at all. But it's like track 2 and 3 are the songs that had videos, so they're the singles. Then like 4 is good, 6, 8, 10, and 12 and 14. It's very strange. It's just the even number songs that I was doing that album. So I think No Way is track number 8, I believe, but I just love the way she sings the song. And basically she's telling this guy that, you promised that you would love me, you promised you would do all this stuff. For me to actually trust in you again, there's no way I'm doing that because I'm not dumb. I learned my lesson. No. So the line is, I've heard it all before. It's in the past. I must look ahead. I thought that I'd be loving you, but I'm hurt instead. Like, you're not about to fool me twice. You fooled me once, you put me through all this stuff, and now you're coming back around like, oh, give me another chance. Why would I ever trust in you again? There's no way I'm going to put that kind of trust and faith in you again after what you put me through. So, tell you the way she sings it really sells the song. So you've never heard that song before. Faith Evans, No Way from the Keep the Faith album. It is gorgeous. It's empowering, very pretty song. Song number 5, To Zion, 1998, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Now I know the running joke about Lauryn Hill. She's always late to performances. She's listening to her chakras and all this other stuff. I've never seen her live. I don't care about seeing her live. I'm also not one of those people that's just like, oh my gosh, her album was amazing. Da-da. Her album was very good. I'll give her that. My mom had the album. I enjoyed it, but it's not an album I go back to. It's not something that I'm constantly referencing. I don't have a lot of. I only have two of her songs actually on my playlist, And so, I'm not one of those stands of Lauren Hill. I appreciate her talent, all that stuff, but maybe her stuff is just so far beyond my scope of understanding that I'm not just like, oh my gosh, she's the best. She's cool. She's great. So Zion is an important song to me. Talking about 1998, I was in high school, but when I got pregnant with my son in 2008, I listened to the song. Actually, I think when he was born in 2009, the song came on the radio. And just listening to the words of the song, every time I listen to the song now, it absolutely makes me cry because I just think about my son. And my son's first name is two syllables like Zionist. So whenever I'm singing the song, I always substitute Zion's name for my son's name. And literally, I cannot listen to the song without crying to this day. And my son is 15 years old, but it's something about the song and just the emotion that she's singing with about the son and how people told her, don't have this baby. You're doing really good in your career. This is going to stop some things for you. Don't do this. This is, don't have the baby essentially. And then having the baby and thinking about how blessed I am to have this responsibility to take care of you. And every time I look in your face, I'm reminded of the sacrifices I made, but I'm also reminded of how much God loves me. And it just every single time chokes me up. See, I know that a gift so great is only one God could create, and I'm reminded every time I see your face. It hits me in a special place every time I hear her sing it because I can hear the love in her voice. And at the end of the song, she just sang repeatedly over and over again, my joy. Like the love of my life, the joy of my life is found in Zion. And I cannot take it. I just go freaking to pieces because I absolutely love my son, love my daughter as well, love my babies. I love being a mom. So hearing the happiness and the joy, because she starts off singing in her lower tone, and it's more like, this is what they told me. I'm worried about what they said, but I think I'm going to have you. I don't know if it's the best idea, but I'm going to go through with it. And then the second verse, her tone goes up a little higher, like, no, this is actually great. There's so much joy here. And then the end is almost like she's praising God. Like her voice just takes on this ethereal tone of, I'm so happy. This is my joy. This is what I'm meant to do, is to be your mom. And it's beautiful, beautiful message. And especially if you're a parent, you can relate. But that song gets me every time. Number 6, Where Do We Go From Here? Came out in 1995. The album and the artist, Deborah Cox. Deborah Cox to me is one of the most underrated R&B singers out there. She's from Canada. She has songs, not like people don't know who she is. I think she's not as well known as other people, though. That's just my personal opinion. Even with the show that comes on TV1 Unsung, I've been saying for years, where's the Unsung on Deborah Cox? Because I feel like her voice is so beautiful and so pure. But again, she just didn't get to that level. She had a song called Sentimental. She had a song. She has Where Do We Go From Here? She has this great song with RL from Next, We Can't Be Friends. Most people kind of not credit, but a lot of people reference that song when they're thinking of her. But she had at least 2 or 3 albums. I know that she made it really big in like the dance, I guess it's called dance electronic community or music genre. She made a lot of dance albums. She played, I want to say she voiced Whitney Houston in one of her biopics, and she played the lead, I believe, in Tina Turner on Broadway. And so she's been doing a lot of acting. And again, the dance electronica world, she's like really been making a name for herself there. But her voice is beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous voice. And where do we go from here is a woman telling a man, I want to be with you. You are everything I know that I need, but I'm so scared that I don't know where to go from here. Like, how do I make this happen? How do I let go of all my fears and actually give you a chance? I don't know how to do that. So the lyric is, why is my heart filled with so much fear when all that you are is all I need and more? And that is hard. When you've gone through heartache or heartbreak, or if you've never had it before, like let's say you've never been in a serious relationship, you've never been in love, and you've always wanted that thing, when you finally are presented with that thing you've always wanted, you either get it and you don't know how to take care of it, or you're so afraid to take that chance because you think in your mind, this is too good to be true. This person is not really here for the right reasons. This person is not going to treat me the way I want them to treat me. So I'm going to not take that chance because I'm afraid that either there'll be a disappointment or they'll give me everything I need and I won't know what to do with it. And if you are in that situation, my advice, always take the chance. Heartbreak sucks. It is not fun, but you get over it at some point. Just like we get over everything else. Nothing is forever. Take that chance. Because why not take the chance? You know what I'm saying? Why live with the idea of what could have happened and what if I had done this? Just do it. And that way you're not living with any regrets. You're just going through the motions and you'll be okay then. The next song is called Always, came out in 1990. The album is also called Always, and the artist is Pebbles. Now, again, if you're my age, you may be like, I think I know who Pebbles is. If you're younger than me, you for sure have no idea who she is. She was not someone who was extremely popular. She was married to L.A. Reid. He and Babyface actually started the album LaFace, which was a popular label. She had some songs, but she and Babyface had a song together. She had a song called Mercedes Boy. She had a song called Girlfriend. And she has a pretty voice, but she's also known, unfortunately, for screwing over TLC as their manager. Now, I don't know how much stuff is true. I'm assuming all of it is true because, I don't care. I ain't got a dog in the fight. I'll just assume that she's a bad person. But that doesn't mean she doesn't have a good voice. The song Always, I had never even heard of until I became an adult, even though it came out in 1990. My husband, we were dating, he used to hum this song or sing like the chorus of this song. And I was like, what is that song called? And, I don't want to be sexist and say he's being a typical man. And he's like, I don't know the name of the song. I don't even know who sings it. It's like, okay, sure. But he was singing not all the time, but enough that I was like, huh, okay, so this song stuck with you, whatever it is, but didn't think anything of it. And then cut 2 months later, I'm out to dinner with a girlfriend of mine, and the song comes over the PA. I was like, this is the song my boyfriend's always singing. Oh, okay, it's an actual song. I thought he was making it up. And I finally researched it and I found out that it was called Always and it's by Pebbles. And I listened to the song. I was like, this song is so it's a beautiful song, a beautiful message, just talking about always loving this person. And because the song reminds me of my now husband, when we got married, this was our song that we had our first dance to. So the lyrics are, I never knew a love like you before. You came into my life and gave me more. You are my friend, also my man, and I'll love you always. And I was like, that fits me, my baby. So that is forever our song, is always. The next song, I feel like this is an underrated song. The artist I don't think is underrated, but I think the song is underrated for the album. The song is called Brother. It came out in 2000. It is from the album Who is Jill Scott by Jill Scott. Well, Who is Jill Scott? Words and Sounds Volume 1 is the complete title of the album by the artist Jill Scott. Brother is further down in the album. I think a lot of people associate this album with It's Love, which I do have a soft spot for. He Loves Me, Long Walk, The Way. Those are some of the more popular songs that I think those are all the singles that came out from this first album. Brother is further down, but what I like about the song is the message. If you guys remember, Angie Stone did a song called Brother where she's paying homage or paying, I think that's what he said, she's paying honor, tribute to men, specifically black men who are doctors, who are lawyers, who are fathers, even the ones who went to jail, the ones who went to college, like just black men in general. I love you. That's what this song Brother is about. It's essentially the same exact messages came out a few years before Angie Stone's. I believe it came out before Angie Stone's, but it's essentially the same message where she's talking to these men like, if nobody told you, I love you. They can't tear you down. They can't break you down. We got your back. You're going to be good. So if nobody told your brother, I'm here to let you know that you're so wonderful, you're so marvelous, you're so beautiful. And she talks about just you're so all these things that I know the world wants to believe that you're one thing. I know that everybody wants to pigeonhole you and think that you're dangerous and you're this and you're that. But I'm here to tell you are so much more than everybody. That you're so much more than the labels that people put on you. I know for a fact that you're these things. And if nobody has told you today, let me tell you how amazingly wonderful and splendid you are as a person. I just like that message. It's not a love. It's a love letter to black men. So I like that. Number 9, this song, this album, I also think is very underrated. And the artist. What is Love? Came out in 2002. The album is a love story, and the artist is Vivian Green. Again, if you are my age, maybe you know who she is. If you're older, you might not. If you're younger, you probably don't. Y'all, everybody, every age, sex, whatever, you need to listen to this album. You need to research Vivian Green. Her main song that people know is called Emotional Roller Coaster. Gorgeous, gorgeous song. Her voice is beautiful. It's definitely a mixture. It's not really neo soul. It came out around the time of neo soul, but I don't see it as uh, I don't see it on the same level necessarily as Jill Scott and like India.Arie and Erica Badu. But Vivian Green has a beautiful, beautiful voice. And What Is Love? I like the whole album from to back. I actually listened to the entire album. What Is Love? I picked because it's like she's having a conversation. It's like she's looking at herself in the mirror and having a conversation with herself. They're trying to convince herself that what she's doing isn't as bad as everybody thinks. And am I doing the right thing? And maybe I don't know. And so the song is talking about there's a guy I like and I like him. I think I love him, but my friends are telling me that things he's doing aren't wrong. But whenever I see him, well, the lyric, all my friends keep telling me stop walking around so blindly, but when he calls, they're not around to ever remind me. So basically, they are saying I'm ignoring all these signs and I need to like wake up and not, do the things I think I want to do. But when he calls me, they're not there. When he calls me, he's saying the right things, and maybe and she has a part in the song where she says, "Maybe I don't know what love really is. Like maybe I don't. Maybe I am confused." And again, it sounds like she's having a conversation with herself in the mirror, like, "Girl, do you like him? Do you love him? Are you sure this is love? Maybe you don't know what love really is." But I love the flow of the song. Tell you the album and her voice. Beautiful, 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 gorgeous. And again, I think she's very underrated. I think a lot of people don't talk about her anymore. She didn't have that much music that came out. She had this album. She had another one that came out that has a lot of great songs as well. And I don't know if she had more. She may have had more than two albums, but she's a really good performer because I've seen her live, and just her songs are very pretty. So I would say look into Vivian Green if you've never listened to her ever in your life. You can start with What Is Love. Definitely listen to Emotional Roller Coaster. Um, Sweet Memory is a really good song as well. That's from her second album. Yes, Vivian Green. So the last song on this list. This woman she's great. She's a big name person, been around for a very long time. I know that her name is Mud right now in the city of Atlanta, but she has a gorgeous voice. So I had to put her on the list. The song is called Rapture. It came out in 1986 from the album called Rapture, and the artist is Anita Baker. So, Anita Baker, what one thing I realized when I'm making my playlist, when I'm thinking about music and just music I love and artists that I love, I realize I lean very heavily on male artists. Like when I think about my favorite artists, period, is always Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and the Temptations. And then when I'm looking at my playlist, all my playlists, it's a bunch of men. I have a couple women on there, but it's very, very men heavy. And I realized that, oh, I must like male artists more than female artists. But the one woman I always think to put on my list is always Anita Baker. There's something about her voice that I've always loved. And the song Rapture, I think just like the words of the song. In my arms is where you should be. I love you here by me, baby. You let my love fly free. And I also have an affinity for songs and song titles that have the word fly or sorry in the title. I have no idea why, but just the idea that you let my love fly free. Like I can be free to be myself around you, and you belong in my arms. This is where you should always be, is right here with me, holding you and loving you, because I'm caught up in the rapture of you. So that is my list of my top 10 R&B songs from female singular artists. I don't know if I'm going to do one for female groups. I'm going to try my best. I started the list. I haven't gotten to 10 quite yet. I'm going to try. So again, like this video, share this video, comment below what are your favorite R&B songs from a singular female artist, not a group. And it could be from any time period. If you're, more old school, pick somebody from Motown if you want. The most I had a bunch of groups. I don't know if you can pick a single person, but you want to pick like an older person, you want to pick a new school person, that's fine with me too, because I'm definitely up for listening to new music. I do like some songs by her. I like a couple songs by SZA, but again, I don't listen to a lot of new stuff. But If you have a recommendation for someone that's come out maybe in the past 5 or 10 years, just a singular song, your favorite song by that artist, definitely comment below so I can check it out. But I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure again that you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.